What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Optimize You. We are helping you unlock your full potential and optimize every single area of your life. And we do that by bringing you 2 podcasts a week. And I'm so excited to be with you. As you can see, my backdrop, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube here, or watching me on YouTube, this is Alex. You see a completely new backdrop because I am officially moved in to my place in Phoenix, Arizona. So over the last week, this has probably been the longest that I've went without recording a podcast. It's been 10, 11 days that I've went without recording a podcast. For those of you who don't know, I also have a podcast called Champion Mindset, where I bring on guests every week and talk about different aspects of mindset and talk about their stories. Interesting people with interesting stories, and just kind of apply it to how you can really reach towards your full potential in that champion mindset every day. And I haven't recorded a podcast there either. And so this is the new place where you're going to be seeing me recording podcasts going forward. I made the trip from Minnesota down to Arizona. My dad came with me, and my mom was gracious enough to fly down. They helped me get everything all situated in here, and they actually just left this morning. So as I'm recording this is Monday. I moved in on Friday. And what I wanted to talk about today was something that I know a lot of people struggle with. And to be honest, I struggled with it here recently, as you see Coco kind of make her way by. I struggled with it on my trip down, and it's planning and scheduling versus what actually happens. Right? I think that the biggest thing that we can do, one of the biggest things that we can do, is really focus on planning and scheduling our days and figuring out what we want to happen, what non-negotiables we want, what things that we need to do for it to be a successful day, what things that we need to do for us to feel our best, and that we have reminders in our phone, that we have Post-it notes around, that we have whatever we need to be successful. Too many times I see people that they don't do this, and then they wonder why they aren't getting shit done, right? And a lot of this comes to as Coco is just going to town on her water at the perfect time. But a lot of the times, like when we travel, when we go on vacations, when we do like a weekend away, whatever it may be, like this kind of thing, even like a night out, right? Or like a night thing, not that you can't just be like, you know what, I'm not going to worry about it. That's a plan. Right? Like, I'm just going to go and I'm going to enjoy myself and I'm going to get back on it tomorrow. That's a fucking plan. But a lot of people don't even go that far. Right? And so what I did is I knew I had this trip. It was a 26-hour journey from Minnesota down to Arizona, right? A 13-hour drive followed by an 11-hour drive followed by 2 hours to finish it up. And I knew that it was going to be difficult to get movement in. It was going to be difficult to have my normal non-negotiables as I generally set them in. It's going to be difficult to get like a full-on 45-minute workout in, right? It's going to be very difficult to get all these things in. And so what I did about 3 days before is I started planning. Right now, I'd encourage you out there, if you have something coming up, or if you're falling short of your goals and you're not able to actually do what you want to be doing, start planning and scheduling. I use the Power List. It's Andy Frisella's thing that he's been talking about for years and years and years. It's the 5 critical tasks of the day. I set this up every night. And what I did before the trip is I was like, okay, what snacks and foods am I going to set up? Right. And I knew that it wasn't going to be as good as it could be. Right. It was going to need to be more convenient things that I could eat while driving. And so my mom made these oatmeal blueberry muffins. They're like oatmeal muffins. So like they're like an oatmeal bake, but she did it in a muffin form. So it's like an oatmeal type thing, right? I brought beef sticks. I brought beef jerky. I brought protein bars, RX bars. We had just like stuff to make sandwiches, right? These simple things that they're going to go a long way. Set that up. I knew that we were leaving at 5 a.m. on Wednesday of last week. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to wake up a little bit early and I'm going to get some movement in, right? I'm going to get a quick workout in. I'm going to get meditation. I'm going to get my visualization. I'm going to get some reading in. I'm going to get all this stuff in, right? Because I still have these non-negotiables and I still want to make sure I'm getting these things done and at least getting something in here because it's going to be 13 hours of sitting on my ass, Not that I can't listen to podcasts, which I did, and also, had some stuff that I got done for work. I like to record voice messages when I figure out content ideas and I have stuff happen. But I went through, checked all those things, not checked it off, but like did them all with intention the morning of, right? So got on that W. The morning comes, I eat some food, and I kind of end up getting into this just thing where I just ate a bunch of garbage, right? I stopped by, I got some candy at a store. I started boredom eating, kind of just went a little bit overboard. Didn't feel great about it. And so that night I was like, you know what? I could either spiral this into fucking a whole trip and be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do whatever I want to on this trip. I'm not going to acknowledge the fact of trying to feel good, of trying to really follow through on what I say I'm going to do. I'm just going to say fuck it, right? Or I could look at it and be like, okay, I fucked up today. I didn't do what I planned on doing. That's cool. There's 365 days in the year. That's going to happen, right? There's going to be times when shit doesn't go our way, right? When we have this plan, when we have this intention and shit goes the opposite way. But what happens is all of this stuff, like what really matters is how we react to this. It's looking at it and be like, you know what? Today fucking sucked. But what am I going to do to make sure that today doesn't happen again tomorrow? And so I put in place another plan. I got up early again. I got some walking in with Coco. I got all of the things that I want to do done, right? And then I was like, I'm going to be more rigid with my food, right? I'm going to make sure that I follow through on the food because I want to feel good. Like it feels good to feel good. It feels good to feel energized. And so I ended up following through, and then I followed through the next day, and I felt really good. And then we moved in, and now we're here. And so really the plan of the whole trip didn't go exactly to plan, but I was really, really proud of myself for having a shitty day with food, eating a bunch of garbage, eating a lot more sugar and processed stuff than I want to, and kind of falling into that boredom eating on the trip, which can happen, right? 13 hours in the road, it's going to happen. But I didn't allow that to happen the next 2 days. I got back on it. I ate a bunch of good quality foods day 2, day 3, and have been keeping that momentum going here into this week and getting back on my meal prep game. So I feel good. I'm super, super excited to be in Arizona, to get away from the cold and to finally just follow through on something I've been talking about for a while. Because for those of you who actually know me, you're friends with me, I've been talking about moving south for a while. Like, you know what? I just do not enjoy the cold in Minnesota. And you know what? I was kind of sick and tired of hearing that bullshit out of my mouth and then constantly going through another winter in Minnesota and constantly not following through. And so I followed through. I feel good. It's so nice to be able to sit outside on the patio in the morning and read, to be able to go on a walk, to see the mountains, to hike, to do this stuff. I live on a golf course here. My apartment complex is on a golf course. And so it's right up my alley. I love all of this kind of stuff. And so I'm super excited for this next chapter. Super excited to continue bringing content to you on a daily basis. If you're somebody who enjoys this stuff, make sure you subscribe to our episodes every week. On Tuesdays, Matt and I, we bring you new episodes with a different topic, a different guest, maybe a Q&A. We do a lot of different types of episodes there. And then every week I'm talking about my journey here on Thursdays, how I'm going through, how I'm letting go, how I'm overcoming myself, all of that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, you rate us, all that stuff. It helps us grow and get this message out to more people. Otherwise, I really, really appreciate you, and I hope you have a good rest of the week. And we'll be talking to you soon.